What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 209. Brace yourself for an amazing episode, and I don't have ThankMeLater to stop me from calling it amazing. We got Polymo Games here to talk about the launch of the X
It will be
Polymo
amazing. Back off.
the X Polymo range, and we got X1 joining us with Dak and Mass Chef to talk about Upland Racing's latest features and an epic race event. And don't forget the Golden City Rush, so much more, and shenanigans will follow. We got a packed backstage, lots of guests. Tune in. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be an amazing episode.
The UPX Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host who's stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland property experts, baby, UPX.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 209. The Metaventurist is getting wild out there. I mean, I know the Mars, Utah theme song gets you hyped. Like last week, he says he's taking his shirt off, rolling it around. And this week, he's kind of did it with his pants. I don't know what he's got going on over there, but it's good. How we doing this week? Thank me later.
Doing good.
Good. Oh,
What?
Russell.
We got all everyone, man. It's a big crowd today.
Yeah,
They must have heard it's going to be an amazing episode.
absolutely. Or it was the last second tweet thrown out there by Polymo Games saying, hey, we're going to be on the show tonight. So
Every little bit helps.
we got a lot to discuss because not only do we have our jam pack full of guests, but we also have the Golden City Rush, which I think is pretty cool. There's a badge in it. So I'll be interested to see your take on that. And then they have they did another car sale, but this time it was just to people with the dealership. It looks like they took feedback from the community and got it right. So we'll touch on that. And the fan score for the NFLPA Legits is going on. And I know it's a shock to you, but people love the secondary market update. So we'll even try and squeeze that in.
It's not a shock to me. It's good content.
Yeah. All right. So since we got so much going on, let's see here. Let's go ahead and bring the fellas from Polymo Games on. We got Satoshi View, we have Sean, and we have Acero. What's going on, fellas?
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you on, and especially the day. Congratulations, first off.
Thank you. It's been a long, deep, dark trench all the way here. We see the light.
Absolutely. So I know we met at Genesis Week. We had you guys on soon after Genesis Week, and then you had the range being built, and then it was like radio silence. Could you guys fill us in? What happened with the radio silence?
Timing. And you can only move as fast as your slowest man. And ultimately, it takes a lot of people to make this happen, as you guys know, on multiple sides of the fence, from dev to, project managers and, riding the bear like we talked about. I think Shakti was saying it's better to ride the bear. So, and riding the bear at the same time. So a lot of those obvious headwinds, and then just those normal dev processes to develop and publish our first layer 2 mini game to market, and more importantly, exclusively on Upland. So that's what we've been doing. We certainly haven't been. We weren't sitting on our thumbs, as they say. It's been a nonstop process.
Yeah. Now, I just wanted the viewers to understand what happened behind the scenes, because there was a lot of hype, a lot of excitement. And then when you're working with a company, you have two companies working together to deliver a product. Sometimes there just has to be that radio silence, and a lot of people don't understand that. And there were questions like, did they fall off? Is the project still going on? And I reached out to Satoshi. I'm like, hey, man, any updates? And he's like, very soon. So it was good, but I just wanted other people to understand that, hey, there is a process to it. There is a method to the madness, and guys worked pretty hard at it. You guys sleep at all last night?
Barely.
Yeah, right.
Barely.
So how'd the launch go for you guys on your end?
Man, we couldn't be more excited and really energized by it, especially, with the lack of sleep. And by the way, Spark or somebody said something about riding the bull in Reno. It was great. It was fantastic. That comment. Cheers to that. And so it's been really energizing, right? Based on like no sleep, I feel more energetic than ever. And it's just because of the reception. And this is really in essence like an alpha beta, right? And we're looking for community feedback. So, really trying to stay plugged into all the great feedback, all the Discord, conversations that are taking place and people being able to finally experience it. So I think that's the best part of it. That's what's so energizing is the actual response.
Awesome. Now, for the people that are new, could you give us an overview of what the X range is and what you guys are all about?
Absolutely. And I'm definitely going to let Satoshi and Essay expand a little bit more on the details, as it relates to the range. But in broad strokes, the X, as we released and published at the event, and we're super excited about, is finally here. And that the X Polymo range basically is utilizing guns from the X NFT collection, developed by Lieutenant Dan. And what we're real excited about in that side of things is that we were able to bring the X into this first layer 2 game and keep that project moving forward and growing its community. So what's really exciting about the actual range itself is that the weapons that are in the range are from 3 of our suppliers, our brand suppliers. 2 of them, I should say, CEO, Core Lead Operations, and the Cabot Big Daddy Damascus. And that part of it with the weapons and the utility, that's been one of the things that we've been most excited about bringing to reality. And that's a part of what I'm so excited about today, and what the range is about, is being able to experience these in real life brands and be able to actually utilize them, play them in tournaments, be able to learn about them, all the different game mechanics and mutable attributes. So that's really what the X Polymo range is all about. It's skill, it's accuracy, it's speed, it's engagement. And it's just the very beginning of something that's going to continue to expand and grow with new weapons and new challenges. But this is just the very beginning.
And are these weapons going to be able to be taken outside of Upland and used in other DX functions on different, Web3 platforms?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's the number one objective, and always has been, was to create that interoperability and that true ownership, that equity, that social equity, right? And players' equity in being able to own those weapons, trade those weapons, sell those weapons, and use those weapons, and be able to have those weapons increase in different mutable attributes, as well as even decrease in some. And that's a really interesting mechanic. So interoperability is our main goal. And one of the things that we really are focused on, as we do want to be the supplier to the metaverse of, these top elite weapons from the leading weapons manufacturers and robotics and drone companies in the world.
So wait, foreshadowing? Are you foreshadowing drones in Upland flying around?
Did I say that?
Oh no, Sean.
I mean, I know my name's too stupid to win, but I catch things.
Thank me later.
Yeah, the best answer I would have for that is TBT.
TBD.
Yes. I'll let Satoshi and Essay expound on a little bit about what is the X Polymo range. I think that's important to hear from these guys as players and the visionaries behind this.
I think my favorite part about it would probably be about taking in real life brands and making them interoperable between our gameplay within Upland or our gameplay that we build outside Upland. I think that's probably my most favorite part about it. But one thing I'm definitely looking forward to is the competition between the players within inside Upland. That's probably my favorite part.
What about you, Acero?
Yeah, man. Well, I've talked to you guys one-on-one, and I could talk about this for hours. So, but I think to to make it short and sweet, it basically, I think, being part of this wonderful community in Upland and talking to everybody, we all kind of think similarly about this. And the path forward for us is to make sure that we maintain that connection, and we try to sort this out together. So this is the first iteration of a lot more to, and we have some big surprises the next few weeks and months. So I can't wait for you guys to see those as well. But using these weapons as as digital assets in Upland, and being able to configure them and make them truly one of ones, even though there are going to be quite a few, is going to really set us apart, I think, initially. But yeah, we're really excited about that, and I can't wait.
That's awesome. Now, this isn't the full game launch. This is just like the beginning. There's more to this. This is just the initial. We have it built. We're in Upland. Here's the start. So how long is this initial phase? Have you guys have a time frame for this initial phase before we get more features or more fun stuff?
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, there'll be new things rolling out in a week. And there'll be
in a week. Whoa,
yeah,
that's quick.
There'll be new things rolling out in a week, and there'll be stuff rolling out perpetually. As that's one of the things that with the X Polymo Fort, we're going to be able to bring exclusive weapon launches that we already have in the pipeline. Those are all going to be exclusive, and there'll be one specific launch of like one specific weapon. We even have some really cool stuff that's going to come down the pike with other collections, and that are really gaining great traction in the marketplace, and their weapons into the range that will bring in other gaming platforms and their unique weapons. So yeah, we have some really exciting stuff up our sleeve, as they say.
I like that. Now, these weapons you keep talking about, are they going to be super pricey, affordable? Is there going to be a range of these things where, everybody can buy a weapon if they choose, or is it just going to be priced out for just the whales of the game?
Yeah, Satoshi, you want to take that one?
Yeah, the best way I could say it is it's affordable to everybody. So we made it in UPX sales. They're between 3,000 UPX and 5,000 UPX. So we didn't want to step it up. We want to make it totally affordable to every single player within the metaverse.
Now that's awesome.
That's been my mission since day one. Affordability is that's everything here.
Yeah. And now just add utility.
Now, do you guys have to manufacture these weapons in Upland, or since it's a layer 2 game, it's just things that you can load up into the game and sell that way?
Yeah, so the first iteration of it will be external to Upland, so inside our internal system. But I guess the main goal is to export them into Upland at one point. We still have some things to figure out on that front, but the whole goal always has been interoperable between Upland and external to Upland. So we wanted to do it correctly. We didn't want to just make it an NFT asset, on a various chain, and then run into technical difficulties down the road.
Yep. I surprised Matt. He popped in, and I knew he was part of the team, so I popped him right on. Should have gave him a warning. I was throwing him on live. Sorry about that, Matt.
The shadow. He's in. He's out.
Hey, good evening, guys. How are you guys all doing?
We're good, man.
Good.
Good to see you for a second.
Didn't mean to surprise you. So we got stuff rolling out in the week. It's going to be affordable to everybody.
And the landing page, have you seen the landing page? Yeah, I think most people have probably seen the landing page. Upland did an incredible job that really lays out those weapons. And that page will get updated here in the next few days. So look for updates. Stay tuned to that page.
Now, is there a limit? You have people that play Upland that are all about the NFTs. Now, is there a limit on each weapon, or is it just whoever wants it can get it?
You can, and there'll be a limited time wise, but as far as if you wanted to mint out as many different weapon cases in the different tiers, you'd be able to do that. But right now, everybody plays with the base weapons that are in the range. Just to bring it back to like what's happening right now, is that the weapons that are in the range, all those base weapons are the CEO and the Big Daddy Cabot Damascus. And those weapons, when the cases come out, you'll be able to actually get various different skins as it lays out on the landing page, different attributes and different chances to get different exclusive weapons and additional weapons in that pack that you may buy. So, but right now it's completely free, and you come in and you play those base weapons, and then you can get the enhanced and augmented versions here very soon.
What about the bullets? They're wondering free bullets.
Yeah, so as of right now, the bullets are free. We were experimenting with various ideas, like what about the idea if I guess in comparison to like a regular bullet versus a hollow point, and how would that affect hitting the target, and what type of damage does it do? We think that's a great opportunity down the line, but we're still trying to process that. There's so many variables, so many different attributes when it comes to different bullets, but we love that idea.
What I'd like to see is the ability that maybe work with you guys and be able to, if you own one of these in real life, you get some mock-up on your range and you can blow these apart with your weapons. So these are the map assets that I'm producing for Halloween. So around Halloween time, if you buy one of these in your guys' game, you get a replica and you can fire them up on the range, and I think that would be pretty fun.
Those are beautiful pieces of art. You sure you want to blow them up?
Well, that's why they're layer 2 and they regenerate. That's
I was kidding.
Those are great. No, that is a great idea.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah. On that note, you have the basic targets in there now. Kind of, you've seen the most general version of it, and so we anticipate that with time, there's going to be a lot of ideas. There are going to be a lot of ideas that come forward. So that's a good one. But we do have a feedback channel on our Discord. So any ideas, we'd love to have everybody throw them in there.
Yeah. Now, there's going to be leaderboards. There's going to be competitions. People putting up best scores. Is it just bragging rights, or are there going to be prizes in the future? What are we looking at there?
So coming in first, second, third. Depending on what position you come into. I think it's a great bragging right, but there's UPX involved. Okay. So there'll be an entry fee, and it'll be all pulled together, and then at the end of the time frame that we specify, it will get breaking down accordingly. But yeah, as you know, in Upland, everybody likes to do something to have opportunity to earn, and we made sure to incorporate that here.
There you go. Question about when will it be iOS compatible? Do you guys have an idea, or knew that there was an issue there, or?
So as far as that goes, we wanted to make sure that we confidently launch the initial release. The next step for us is to come up with a mobile application, but that's still in pipeline.
Okay, so right now it's desktop only, but mobile will be in the future. It's a plan, so that's awesome. That makes ThankMeLater happy, because if it's not mobile, he
as well as the dog. The
dog's like, nope, I want no part of it.
He knew his answer. That was great.
And that's actually a great point to bring up, because majority of the player user base in Upland is on mobile, so it's something we definitely have to accommodate. I believe the number is 70% of the users. It's a major pain point.
Awesome. And then also, I think Lieutenant Dan needs to be like a special guest, just one-on-one, because this is twice I've had you guys on, and he's ducked out on me. So once, I understand busy, twice starting to kind of take it personal. So he'll owe us a one-on-one interview. You guys came with the crew, and he just gets to go one-on-one then, I think.
Dan and I did your show together. I believe.
No, nope. Dan was sick at the time.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, yeah, that's definitely, I think when the weapons cases come out, I think that's an important time to have Dan on and to really talk about those weapons. And that would be a great time for that.
I can make that happen. We'll make that happen. I'm just giving him a hard time. I understand schedules and business, and I get that. So just giving him a hard time. No.
Dan's watching. You can wave to him.
Yeah, I know. I saw him. I put bring me up. Give him the link. Oh, you see, now that I call him up, he's like, bring me up. The link is in the Discord, or is he not in the Discord? Oh.
He is in that one that you sent earlier today, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the agency says, what up? Let's see here. What is... He's backstage, Shaq? I don't see him backstage. If he's backstage, you can plug him in. Sorry about that. Let's see here. So, which weapons case are you guys most excited for launching?
It's really a tough question because between all the cases, there's different variables of which asset you pull out. I mean, I really couldn't pick one if I had the choice because with the idea of what we're working with the mutable attributes, it seems that depending on the player, you can get any gun out of any case, and you can possibly build it to be the best gun. So it's very tough for me to decide that one. I guess it depends on the player.
All right. So I know you joined us a little bit late, Matt, but what are you, we talked about the launch and what's coming up in the future, what's going on now, what's kind of your experience right now? What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to? And, I didn't get to say congratulations to you either, but congratulations on the launch. It looks like there's positive feedback in Upland, but what's your thoughts on this today?
Obviously I'm excited. I think all of us are really excited. But I think the number one thing that really excites me is, both an Upland player, most people in the Upland ecosystem know me as Lacane, as well as a hardcore gamer. I'm pretty much always either on like some FPS or play a couple different MMOs at night. My genre love is all over the place. I love games, but we don't have any games that have any kind of equity building where as you're accruing things by actually playing that game, you're getting something of value in exchange. I think it's cool that you could theoretically be, getting or earning different skins, different weapon packs. And then by playing a game, you can take that with you, or you can say, hey, I want to take this and go play this other Polymo experience and bring all those things I unlocked in this one experience over here with me. No game has really ever done that. Even, you see giant publishers like, Activision with Call of Duty, the next one comes out, you start all over everything that you had to show for, how hard you've played, how many games you've won, how many championships how many Warzone W's you have, all of that is gone and you have nothing to show for it. So to be bringing something like FPS gaming into Web3 allows us to have that long-term kind of credibility and that ledger of like, no, dude, I'm not just the best in this one. I'm the best in every single version of the game. In regards to, weapons packs and most FPS games, I usually play more of like a range, like sniper, like kind of a role in most FPS, Call of Duty, Battlefield, stuff like that. So for, me, my favorite weapon pack is definitely, the sniper rifles. So it's really exciting to see the potential gameplay and just already seeing kind of some of the stuff that we're, working on and cooking up. Some of the stuff that, Sean and Dan are spearheading, really seeing the possibility of where this could go by baking that Web3 layer in is probably the part that I'm most excited about.
Nice. And then the Metaventurist was asking about mutable attributes for mods. Will they be coming in the future? Triggers, muzzle mods, stocks, and sights?
Yeah, man, we have plans for all of that, all of the above. So, I mean, pretty much, being part of this community for the time that I've been a part of it, I mean, I think one Uplander can come up with all these variations of, what's possible with this type of scenario. So, absolutely. I mean, we're going to have all of the above.
Awesome. Dan says he's backstage, but
I hear
sorry.
him backstage. I hear something backstage. Somebody backstage.
Yeah. Oop, hold on. I'm trying to make room for Dan if he's got the link. So he says he's backstage. Doesn't look like it. All right. We'll catch up with Lieutenant Dan, though. I was just giving a hard time. I do appreciate that he joined in the audience, and it is. I was just messing with you. Nothing personal. What else? I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. I know you guys need to get some rest and check on everything, the functionality of the day and all that. Any closing thoughts or messages to the community before we let you go for the evening?
Yeah, I'll just echo what Essay said about feedback and Satoshi. And it's so important that please put all the feedback in our Discord. Game dev is not done in a vacuum, and we really want to keep building. And a lot of the questions you asked earlier will come from the community, what we dev and how we expand it. So that feedback is so crucial to us. And please put it in, get in our Discord, share it with us, and we will keep iterating, and we will keep taking this great feedback and apply it, because that's the only way it gets better. And it's the only way that we can expand into those other mini games with actually, things that people want, right? And people love playing. So feedback is crucial right now. That's the big takeaway from today.
Ooh. Look at that, Lieutenant Dan. Look at the weapons. He comes in showing weapons. He's like, I got my guns. Where's yours?
Can you guys hear me okay and see me?
Yes.
Oh, nice. What up? Yeah, I couldn't miss you again, man. I missed you the first time. I needed to jump in here. Too stupid. Thank me later. I appreciate you guys.
Really, really glad you were able to join us. And I was just giving you a hard time. Nothing but love. Congratulations. It's an amazing launch today. People were anticipating it, looking forward to it. So, and then we'll definitely want to have you as an interview also in the future.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah, we're so excited. I've been playing the range all day since it opened, trying to get my skills back, sharpened. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm more of a console gamer, so I'm trying to get used to, the speed and everything on my mouse, because I have a pretty upgraded couple different mouses. So, yeah, man, we're excited. Too stupid. Thank you. Thank me later. Thank you now for bringing us on, man. And we're going to try to get that mobile version too, because I know a lot of people are asking for that. Also, I'll give you a little alpha. The next brand that we want to bring to Upland is the Syndicates. So that's the Syndicate right now. And that's a special edition. It's a new model that Syndicates Defense Corp is launching. It, just like you said, the attachments, I really want to go big on these once we start getting everybody going. If the Uplanders, everybody's liking this, I want, all of us, Sean, Essay, Satoshi, we want to really expand on the weapons and their capabilities in here. And we have some really unique stuff coming down the pipe. Now, if everybody's liking what they see, it's going to be a snowball effect, and we're just going to keep going and bringing more to the table. And the gun range is just the opening. That's just to get your skills sharp. Hopefully, we're going to be bringing a lot more than that down the pipeline, and hopefully everybody's excited about it.
And I know if we go back to Genesis 2022, we started talking about Layer 2, and that's going to be the future of Upland. Genesis 2023 comes about. You guys show up with this whole project. You had the cool VR stuff going on, and you were playing the range, which was awesome in itself. We were standing there in the lobby and just looking ridiculous. KO Ninja destroyed everything, and your guys were kind of amazed, like, how'd you do this much destruction? But I love the fact that it's Layer 2. You're going to be able to move these weapons throughout your guys' different projects, and that they're going to be affordable in Upland. 3,000 UPX, 5,000 UPX. That is amazingly affordable. And you're going to have your base packages. And I like what you guys are doing. It's going to be a fun experience.
Yeah, and just let me add to that too, stupid too, man. So I mean, we're bringing weapons, and really, what we would love to do at the X NFT collection as a whole, want to supply the metaverse with weapons, ammo, gear, but we also want to supply them with a unified ranking system that goes beyond just Upland. So there's a lot of things that the X wants to bring to the metaverse, to Web3, to the layer 2. And we have a big vision. And as you can see, we're nonstop. We're going to execute it. We got good people. We got good commanders. Essay and Satoshi are generals, right? I'm just a soldier in this. They're two of our commanders. And they're like, we're going to Upland. And Sean, one of our captains said, let's go. And look where we're at right now. And they say, keep bringing weapons, keep bringing supplies. We're going to arm Upland to the teeth.
Let's go.
So let's go.
Hoorah.
And I did get distracted, Matt, your comments about, doing something like Call of Duty, the new game comes out and nothing carries over. That's like one of the biggest beefs in the gamer world. And even the casual gamer, somebody that's not like even a hardcore gamer, just a casual gamer, it's like, I put all these hours in, I did all this, and now I'm just back at square one. So I love that you guys are addressing that too, that it's just going to carry over and you're going to continue to build. And it's, here's this leaderboard, but here's the overall, like, here's my accomplishments.
Let me add to that too, stupid, because that is something this is why I'm in Web3 right now. That is something that's plagued Web2. So before I became a game designer and a game developer, I was a gamer, right? I had the #1 hosted Call of Duty Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six server. It was called Camp Killjoy. All the pros played in it, right? So I'm playing Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, Call of Duty. Nothing came crossed over. So I get all these kills, all this ranking here, and I have to do it all over in this game. I have to do it all over in this game. And then they launch another Modern Warfare. Then they launch another Rainbow Six, and another Ghost Recon, and I have to start from scratch every time. Where's all my kills, all my work? It's just gone, poof. That shit's going to end. And I'm hoping that X can lead that charge.
That would be great. Wolf Warner was wondering if there's a control manual for that on the desktop. Is it easy? Is it just standard for your typical PC gamer, the controls, ASWAD or?
Yeah, if you play any kind of first-person shooter or any other like really standard like computer-based, FPS or RPG game, standard movements, WASD, right, is going to get you around. R is to reload. E is to pick things up. I know that differs between some different games, but what we could do is Wolf Warner thinks that's an amazing piece of feedback. I think that what we should do is probably just put a little something together, maybe like a little key map binding kind of a thing, and we'll put that together, put that on our website, and that will be there by tomorrow morning when you wake up.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Look at that. And I also love that you guys are seeking feedback, asking for feedback, and you're going to listen to the community and incorporate. Now, I know you're never going to make everybody happy, but at least, if there's something that's always coming through, everybody saying this, you guys are going to address that. That's great. That's going to make you guys very successful.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're Uplanders, right? I mean, it's part of our DNA. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, we talk about all this stuff all the time, and we're trying to solve problems that have arisen, and that's who we are. So we expect that. I have to tell you, my Discord blew up, and people are already give me direct feedback, that are giving us feedback that we already started working on. I mean, we were all on a call, and while the feedback was coming in, we're over there fixing stuff. So. The great thing about it is that this team we're all serious people, when it comes to the background dev stuff. So we take it seriously. We spend a lot of time on it. We work every single day on this. So yeah, we can't wait. So we're looking forward to that too.
Oh, that's great. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Lieutenant Dan, I definitely want to get you back on. Maybe when the weapons come out, we'll have something going on. So. Yeah,
and when we get the mobile version too, because I want ThankMeLater to play it live on the screen. Okay, let's go.
He will.
Yeah, for sure, sure.
Yeah, Toshi, Leslie, Matt, Sarah, thank you guys so much for taking time. Sarah, thank you for putting this together on such short notice. I do appreciate
Yeah, man.
that.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys too, for sure.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Hey, one last thing. Do you have another minute?
Absolutely.
Hey, well, I'm sure you guys have been paying attention since the very beginning, and we have these Legionnaires, and so on behalf of the team, we want to give you each one. So
What?
Yo, let's go.
Whoa! No!
go.
Whoa!
What's up?
I thought I was gonna you told me you had a surprise for me, and I thought that was just gonna be like, hey, here's like a custom like skin or something for your weapon. Wow! Like I've been watching like your guys' Twitter with the AI, like, bro, like, nowhere. Wow!
Thanks for joining the army, man. We're excited to have you both.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Crap!
awesome.
Wow! Thank you
Much
guys
love,
so
man.
much. Thank you so much.
It's an honor.
Welcome to the army.
Wow.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Thank you. Wow! That left me speechless.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
man,
that doesn't
well-
happen very often, man.
It comes with some bennies. So as time goes on, we'll have a conversation about that too. So we'll go from there.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, one of the first bennies that you guys get is you could use that AI chat, the Commander AI chat that you just talked about, Too Stupid, because having a Legionnaire in your wallet allows you to chat with all of the 5 minted legendary commanders unlimited for free.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
let's go.
And the Legionnaires get some weapon packs. And since you're in early, the first to fight, I'm going to really, once we get this thing going, when we start talking drones, we're to start talking other equipment that we have in the X collection. The Legionnaires that are first with us, they're getting armed to the teeth.
Hell yeah,
Alright,
let's
Oh,
go.
hell yeah. And we'll talk about it all, especially now we got Legionnaires. We're always talking about you guys.
Let's go.
We're gonna get them in. We're gonna get them in
Jump to the top of
chokehold.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. We'll have you guys on soon. Thank you for your time. It was great talking with
good.
everyone again.
So good.
Nice meeting you, Lieutenant Dan. Nice meeting you, Matt.
Thank
Thanks to
you guys.
Sarah.
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations.
Take care.
All right. Remove the stage. All right. Ooh, I like that.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. All right. We got people moving, and now we're like all huge in people's faces. There we go. Back to normal.
Yeah, we need
All
to
right.
upgrade. Can we upgrade to get more people? I got the little alert. It was like,
Yeah. There we go.
anyway.
We can. It's just a matter of
I'm curious. Well, I'm curious what. Anyway, we can look at it later.
yeah. So why I am waiting, I just sent the message out. So definitely check out 615. I know 615 Indiana Street. I know that Halloween's over, but you definitely want to grab some of these map assets. And guess what showed up in my factory the other day?
We showed up in your factory the other day.
Another 18-foot monster. So I am starting production on that. The Harvest Moon Pillar. It's a huge 18-foot kind of creepy thing with a big old pumpkin head on it. So it will look very nice. Very nice. So we're getting through things. But yeah, definitely go check out 615 Indiana Street and pick up your wonderful Halloween map assets because it's always Halloween in Bella Rose / Creedmoor. So, dude, getting a Legionnaire is like amazing.
Yeah, I was not. Obviously, you definitely weren't ready. I definitely was not ready for that. You definitely weren't ready for that. That's so cool.
No, shout out to those guys. Thank you guys so much. Like Sarah was like, hey, we want to give you a surprise. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, we'll probably get a cool skin or something. I might get some poo-poo. I might get a dookie skin for my gun or whatever,
I like Max Life. Look at that.
Love you, Max Life. All right. So continuing on with exciting news, Upland changed, or they didn't change. They enhanced the racing, your ability to race, a lot of new features to it. And they also announced a wonderful racing event in Upland. So very excited about that. Got a shout out to Dak because he made this happen. He's like, hey, it'd be cool if we got X1 on here. I'm like, okay, I'll reach out to him. He goes, already talking to him. He's like, he's in. I'm like, sweet, scheduling guests for us. And it's been a long time since we had X1 on the show.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna bring on X1, Dak, and Mass Chef, the racing gurus of
Look at
Upland.
this.
What's going on, guys?
And he still has the pit crew going on. Racing season over, and he's still hitting us with the pit crew.
He has those just for you.
I do that just for you.
I love it.
So good.
I absolutely love it.
What's up, X1?
Hey, guys.
TML.
What up?
Let's talk racing.
Absolutely. So X1, why don't you kick us off and give us a quick synopsis of what Upland did to racing now? I mean, this is we had a change right after Genesis week, and this is the second change in less than 6 months to racing to enhance it. So can you give us a little background history and
Yeah, basically, I mean, we're just trying to make slowly upgrade racing over time to where it's less about RNG and it's more about skill. And this was a big step in that direction. We have enhanced speed dynamics that's here. So before, if you just let your AI race, they ran at one speed all the time. Now you benefit, you have an advantage if you're controlling your car versus just letting it run as AI. Same with braking in turns. Before, AI would take those turns at 100% all the time. Now they're at a disadvantage on turns, and you get an advantage for controlling your car. Also, if you don't brake correctly, you skid out and your car fishtails all over the track. So that's nice. The other thing is, you may have noticed in some tracks that sometimes the houses or crates and stuff are on the track. It had to do with how it works there. That's been fixed so that now those are pushed back and they're off most of those tracks there. And then some quality of life features with tracks. We have so many tracks now. It's harder and harder to find them. There's now a track filter where you can type in and search for your tracks there. So just incremental, and that's where we're going from here on out. Skill matters in racing. Strategy should matter over RNG 100%.
Love it.
But what I like is that it's still not going to be like Gran Turismo, right? So what the cars do, what the tracks do, how things kind of work out will still make a difference. And so it still makes it a little more accessible for the general community to access racing. And it's not like you have to be an elite racing driver to actually play racing in Upland, which has always been one of my concerns when you start moving from RNG to skill base.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because that becomes kind of intimidating too. I mean, that's why, like, if I'm playing a racing game, it's going to be single player against the computer, because man, there's just people just get so ridiculously good. It's like it becomes very difficult to be competitive and to have fun anymore.
Well, and even with just the little bit that was already going on, we've seen the Mahoney MV Motors group. I mean, they took the championship for the Champions Cup when it was RNG, but then they came back and took first and second place when it was, when Upland added more functionality. But they actually planned for tracks. They raced tracks. They memorized tracks. They did team strategies in terms of how to block mass out. So,
I mean, you're doing something when their teams are plotting how to block you in the game.
And they were good at it. Just saying, they were good at it.
So no, it is exciting, and I think that just the additional elements are going to continue to just kind of keep building and adding to it. There's still so much more that we would love to see. X1, hint, hint, but I it's one of the things that I've always said about the way that Upland released racing. It was always on this iterative track, so it's a nice agile type of delivery model, which I've always liked, because you always see progress, right? So almost in about a month and a half to 2 months, there's almost always something coming out for racing.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. What's exciting for me is to see how, as we move to skill, how all the players jump in and utilize that skill, like you were saying, Dak. And to ThankMeLater's point, Forza just dropped. And I was like, I love Forza. First of all, it's the first Forza Motorsport that's dropped in a few years now. So I jumped in like, okay, this is me. I'm going to get good. I'm going to compete with the big boys for once because I'm not jumping in late. No, there's no way. Like, that's got to be your full-time job. I play it single player now as a result. So
Yeah.
Yep. So, but I think that one of the things that we're starting to see with the number of tracks that have been created with different Discord servers coming up that are doing racing, Upland doing their community racing events, we're seeing a lot more community racing and community kind of engagement. And so one of the things I really am starting to kind of push for and been talking about a lot more is the idea of community racing economics and what Uplanders should think about and how that might work and how Upland plays into it, how the racing servers play into it. You know, how does it, as a track owner, how do you incentivize your trackside property owners so that you actually drive the value of the overall track up and so forth. So there's just a lot of different elements to it that I think that we now have a better and better possibility for as more and more functionality rolls out and as Upland adds more features to the racing economy.
I did want to backtrack really quick because the agency's always big in the community and always, you know, he's big with the stadium chasers doing stuff around it. He said he's bummed. He wanted to be a part of it with their track, but he's learned it's almost impossible to have a track with them. Can you expand the requirements on the Upland Racing League? And are you going to reevaluate some of your criteria? Just because I know agency's big with the community. So I think we can work something out there, or maybe he's got a misunderstanding and then anybody else out there, it can be clarified for.
Well, and this is where the whole community racing, so it actually ties in nicely to what I was just talking about. So we have a requirement. It's to get a track in Upland, you need 4 properties, and one of those properties needs to be empty and be able to fit a grandstand. That's it. That's all you need to be able, and 1 spark. You need to have at least 1 spark, right? So it's relatively easy for anyone to submit a track, which is part of why it also takes so long for tracks to be approved, because everyone submits. Now, in URL, what we focused from the very beginning was community racing, because we weren't going to try to create an app. We weren't going to try to create a layer 2 experience like UPX World was doing, right? So we wanted to just kind of say, okay, how do we as a community create community racing? And one of the elements that came out for that was the idea of ownership groups and forcing a 40% ownership of the trackside properties. That's one of the requirements, and it's actually one of the biggest hurdles for a lot of folks who are just creating tracks for Upland, because when you only need 4 properties, your track has 200, 300 properties on it. Trying to get 40% is difficult, and chances are you're not going to be able to do it yourself. That's on purpose.
Okay, so you think like that's the hurdle?
I think that is definitely one of the hurdles that agency ran into in terms of trying to get it. Now, the goal is you go out and you meet other people who are in the node. A lot of times it's a node or a neighborhood or something like that, and who have properties on the track. You get them to join a ownership group, and then you submit, here are all the people who are part of the ownership group, and we are, you know, a consortium that owns this track. Now, the idea behind the consortium idea and the ownership group is that as owners, they're going to have some kind of revenue share in whatever revenue is generated from the track, right? Now, that expands into, we started with URL. So with URL, I've been talking to other track owners, and they've been coming in, and so we've been saying like ways that you can monetize or incentivize your ownership group. You can do rev share for any URL event that you get to participate in. You can do spark staking so that your track can be developed, and yet people can get kind of like, you know, free housing in a way, right? You can do ownership raffles where if you're part of the track side, you get to participate in raffles. Avenue of Fashion, Tosset and Shacklin They did this with the Avenue of Fashion when they first started, where they would do raffles for trackside property owners to get a 3D map asset for submitting to Upland. That was really successful, and those properties, no one was releasing, selling, they weren't getting rid of those properties for less than hundreds of thousands of UPX.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So that is one of the things, is find ways to incentivize a consortium, and then you can actually find that, you will find that it's easier to get people involved. Now, if they're part of that consortium, they're also going to want to participate in community events.
You would think so. You would hope so.
Well, because the more engagement there is, the more they kind of talk about it, the more the people they get engaged in it, then hopefully the better it turns out to be. An example of that is X1. I don't know how much you can talk about what's going to be coming out, but that is an example.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows we did our last racing event, and we teamed up with the Upland Racing League to do that. I can say, I can't give away all the details now, but I can say a similar racing event is coming here soon. In fact, Mass Chef and Dak, I think what we can do, we don't want to reveal what cars you'll use yet for these racing, because it's going to be special ones. But why don't we talk a little bit? Let's share the tracks that will be in this racing event. So it's going to be a racing event just like we did last time. A new set of tracks and a new set of cars, and I'm very excited about the style of cars that we selected. A lot of fun here. But Dak and Mash, why don't you share some of the tracks that we've selected for this?
Hey, Mass, you do that, because if I share too much.
I know. You do that all the time.
Do it. Share all the secrets.
Let Dak talk.
All right, so we did pick. We actually invited the community of the URL to submit some track ideas, and we gave them a little bit of criteria to go with. So we did have quite a few submissions, but we, after some careful thought, we've came up with 3 awesome tracks. They all run really well. They're fun. So the first one is going to be the Boys Town Extreme track. That will race 1 vehicle.
So congratulations, by the way. People didn't know if they were awarded the track or not. So this is all information for a lot of people who didn't even know they got selected.
Right. So yeah, Boys Town Extreme, nice track. It's a fun track. Great straightaways, a nice hairpin turn, cool track. So that's one. The other one is going to be the Midtown Terrace 100 up in Midtown Terrace, Ben 68's course. Talk about it's just a cool course. I mean, the whole thing is built out. There's a I don't even think there's one property on the course that's not got a building on it. It's fun to race through the Midtown Terrace. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And then our third and final is going to be a brand new track that was just released in the last week, the Ithaca Run in Los Angeles. So that's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, very cool. Very exciting. We actually, we had such a good, and Mass and Dak know when we talked about it, the first time especially is like, this is just an experiment. Let's see how it goes. How can we improve it from here? And then we can go from there. But the first event turned out so well. I think Upland Racing League, has just such a great infrastructure there and hosts the final races in the cafe live. Hey, let's do it again and iterate on it and continue to improve it. And that's the direction that Upland is going here. We're trying to team up more with the community on all of the events. So we had the Upland Kingdoms event, if you remember, the Uplandia event. You remember, we have the racing events now here, and we have a lot more like that coming down the pipe. So it's a lot of fun. It's great to be able to partner with the Upland Racing League. And stay tuned next week for all the details.
Love it.
And so now that you know about the tracks, one of the things that I was kind of promoting to the race commissioners, and so they're the kind of the track owners and the folks that kind of manage the tracks in Upland for our sanctioned tracks, I was telling them, okay, so now imagine we pick your track for this Upland event, that is going to have qualifiers for an entire week where people are going to be racing like mad. And you do stake racing where you just do it for like 1,000 UPX, not a big amount, small amount, right? Something that people won't get scared about. But every race that has 4 or 5, because you need 4 people to race, right? So it's always going to be at least 4,000 UPX. You're going to get, I think it's 5% of that. And now you have 100 races, 200 races, 300 races happening on your track that you're collecting 5% on. It adds up quick. It's more than your monthly rental or your monthly, income, right? And so it can be actually very lucrative for someone to kind of get in. Now, the idea is if this is a sanctioned track and there's an ownership group, then hopefully there is distribution, but that's up to the race commissioner and the track owner. But one of the things that as URL we're going to do, we've always been about community racing, and we do evaluate tracks on a regular basis to see if they maintain their sanction status or if they get relegated. I know it's Mass Chef's favorite word. If they get relegated to provisional tracks. And then eventually, if they don't kind of do better, then they get kind of taken off the board altogether. And of course, being a sanctioned track means that you're able to move into being part of the URL season.
No, that's just my wrist.
It's the beanie. It's the beanie. He now looks like all mean. Yeah. So there's that's just an example of how you can actually use the track to really kind of benefit and take advantage of an event that can then hopefully help the community that is a part of your racetrack.
Love it.
We'll see how it goes.
And this is the first race event with these new features, obviously. So it's going to be exciting to see who's able to pick them up and get it going the fastest.
For sure.
So it is kind of fun that I have seen Upland kind of aligns some of the new feature elements with these big race events so that they have a massive testing pool.
It's convenient how that works, eh?
Funny how that works.
Yeah, we noticed them starting to do a lot of releases on Thursdays.
Well, stop mentioning that because then they're going to stop doing that.
No, what are we talking about? I'm saying keep it up. They know they're not.
Hey, like city releases?
No, just like information releases.
Oh,
you guys do a lot of information releases on Thursdays.
They like it because their show gets to talk about it first before anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we like it when you do like Thursday afternoon information releases. It's perfect.
Very nice.
Well, I have to say, I've been hitting the track since the update, and I'm really digging the new controls. The new physics of the thing is pretty cool. I still don't know how to hit my brake, but that's okay. We'll get there.
Now, I think with the skills based, I think your leagues are going to be a lot more interesting because before, I think your leagues were primarily like, yeah, who's going to pay to be in it? But now it's really the competitive edge. It makes it much more compelling. Like you might not necessarily want to be in the top league because it's going to be so difficult to win, where now you can actually have skills-based leagues that is, and obviously the prize pools would be according, but that's very appealing where you can keep in the amateur league while you learn your skills and work your way up to, battling Ninja and the Mass Chefs and the who's the I forget the name of the other team that just like dominated.
Mahoney.
The Mahoney.
Yeah.
Don't be a jabroni when you go against the Mahonies.
They might steal that as a tagline, right?
Hey man, theirs.
No, but go.
I was just curious. Now we've launched the changes to racing. Have you at Upland seen feedback yet, X1, on just the community response to the changes that were implemented?
We've seen some, but yeah, if anybody has feedback, please let us know. Let all the community managers know. We compile it all and pass it on up. But yeah, definitely let us know. I think it was like a week ago. I hope I'm not giving away too much, but Mass Chefs sent me a DM and was like, "Hey, turning is broken. What's happening here? We're in the middle of doing some stuff. Don't worry, it's coming. So yeah, definitely pass along the feedback and we'll hand it on up.
And then you mentioned about the amateur leagues and stuff. One of the things that URL is doing heavily is we are trying to promote the other racing servers, because we do see them as being ones where folks can really kind of get their chops, get their driving in and kind of build it up. Because we do want to have kind of the best of the best racing in URL. And so we want to see the champions of other racing servers be the drivers for URL. And so it's always at like the top level.
I like that. That's cool.
So that's a question that I've had for a while there, X1, to put you on the spot. Are we going to expand the size of races in the future? Not like next week, next month, but do we look to be able to incorporate maybe a 20-car race in the future?
Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know on that one. I know next up on the roadmap here for racing is really giving speed track owners more control over metaventure speedways is what we're calling it, but just giving them more control over everything they can do with their speedways, what percentage they take from winnings, stuff like that. So that's the next one that's coming up. And then obviously, not the next one, but that's the most immediate roadmap. And then on top of that, more physics, much more physics. So right now, like it's a pretty good improvement, but the team is really working hard to dial in and making those physics even better for players. So
yeah, I tell you, I'm really looking forward to, being out on a track when it's raining and, maybe dirt tracks instead of pavement and, those kinds of things I think would be really, really cool.
Yeah, rally cars.
That's what read my mind there. That'd be awesome.
Well, and then trucks also would get some of that off-roading, benefit and stuff. So yeah, no, and drag races. I would love to be able to just have a 2-lane, 2-car start for some, just all engine and acceleration. Just anyway, that's one thing. The other thing too is it'd be interesting to see the meta ventures that you mentioned and kind of giving the track owners more control. One of the things I remember hearing about a while back was the idea of being able to bring in third-party sponsors so that racetracks can actually kind of host banners or something like that, advertising for third-party sponsors. I'm hoping that's still on the roadmap because that's obviously another way to monetize these tracks.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if it's on the most immediate roadmap, but I do know it's something that's being discussed for sure.
Yeah.
Another thing that's being discussed is just, I think one thing that's really hard for players right now, and someone that's jumped in racing quite a bit just to figure it out, is context for the different cars. So if I'm brand new, it's kind of a disincentive for me to race because I just figure, well, the S1 is going to win every time in this race. And so hypothetically speaking, I'm speaking hypothetically here. Hypothetically speaking, imagine like a point system, right? Like some RPG battle games do this, but where, for instance, let's say you have 300 points in you as the track owner can say, hey, I'm going to set this as a 300-point race. And then you can combine your points. So for instance, speed equals a certain amount of points, braking equals a certain amount of points, turning equals a certain amount of points. And you can combine you can choose a car that equals up to 300 points to then race so that it's at least, you may not be as fast, but you have better turning, but it's an equal race there. So that's something that's being looked at right now. And I think that something like that would be huge.
I think another thing that would be very huge would be car class selection, or making it so that me as a track owner, I can say, okay, this race is for 5,000 UPX per entry, but you can only bring in an S1 or an S1E or an S1R.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And be able to select the class, not just the car, because that is one of the biggest discouraging factors of public racing is that when you post a race with your S4 because you just want to race, and somebody comes in with a stock car pro car and blows your doors off and laps you on the second lap.
And that's happened.
And that's happened. And I've seen it happen, and I watch it happen all the time. And I'm probably one of the ones doing it. But
it really is. It's become an easy way to steal kids' lunch money.
Right. And
I mean, should have got one of the good cars. Sorry, poor people. No, sorry.
Wow.
Views expressed are those of
that is why there is a disclaimer in the YouTube description each and every week.
Good
I
call.
don't own 5 S1Rs.
You own 10.
Exactly. See, I don't own 5.
But now you need to get stock car pros because they're faster than S1Rs.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm more of a collector than a racer, so I'll
There you
leave the
go.
racing to the pros. Y'all put me to shame. I just want cars that look pretty.
Yep. So I think that again, as people kind of start seeing all of these different tracks, as the different functionality starts to kind of come in, as you build your track, while it's easy to get a track in Upland, you will get more value out of it if you find how to tap into the community racing economics model, how to bring in your trackside owners into different elements so that you actually can build a little more activity. We've done, Matt Chef and I, and we've done this in other games where we kind of brought the group in to partake in the business element of it. And so when people are part owners in something, they tend to spend their money where their ownership is. So
That makes sense.
yeah, so if you engage your trackside property owners, you will get more value out of your track.
Yeah.
At least that's my piece of advice for all of these brand new track metaventurists.
Yeah, no, I think that's terrific advice, honestly.
And I'm very intrigued to watch the economy around these tracks develop, as you guys have discussed and theorized. It's going to be one of the sub-economies of the overall Upland economy. And that's the great thing about it is with Upland, there's so many different economies that are starting to get traction and start to grow. So I'm excited for the next year and watching how each one takes root.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. What kind of inside information can you give us, X1?
Yeah, I think I missed it. You guys were talking about these new tracks for the next race, but I didn't. Did I miss what car was that again? That's going to be on that for that race.
You got to stay tuned to next week. I'm very excited about the cars. It's going to be a very fun racing for sure. I want to hear your guys' opinion on two things actually. I listened last week. Oh, this is the new Google Hangout balloons. Did you see that? It just popped up. I listened last week and I heard your opinion on the 24-hour city release, but now that we're a week out from that, thoughts on 24-hour city release?
Well, I mean, it depends. Are you about to announce the city release right now in 24 hours?
Based on your answer.
Well, I mean, I like having I like having a variety of kind of city release mechanics. I think it keeps it interesting. And especially with the new city badges, it definitely keeps people on their toes. It makes people, it's interesting to see, like, are you going to save a little bit more UPX now? Are you keeping a little bit more in the coffers just in case? And I do think it helps minimize like the kind of big wave sellouts on some of, like, especially for like an expansion, like a city expansion. When you give it too much time, like, its negative impact on that city's economy and other economies, it's kind of unfortunate. It just kind of happens. But with the 24-hour like we saw with the numbers, it really didn't have that same impact and probably brought more US dollar UPX purchasing in because of such the short notice. So overall, I like it for those things.
I was curious because all of a sudden, there was a spike in London that approached the 40,000, but it was usually staying in the low 30s. But then we had a run in October where it was pushing 40, and I was wondering if Upland thought London was getting to a bubble and they were trying to prevent a Manhattan, and they said, hey, let's kind of chill the floor price and we can do a little expansion that we have in our pocket. Because I personally believe that Upland, of all the cities they release, they do have expansions ready to go and launch when they hit certain criteria or thresholds of properties sold or market prices, secondary market prices. So I was curious as I started looking back at the London price because it started flirting with the $40,000 floor and staying consistent. But I did like the 24-hour release because it just to me it really depends. If I'm looking for deals, I like the week notice. If I'm just ready to jump in on a city and get the best deal of the city, I like the 24-hour notice. Like, hey, we're going to do an expansion. So it just kind of depends on my mood.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Now I want to play poker with X1.
I'm actually not a great poker player.
It depends on my UPX balance whether I like it or not. I'm just saying.
That's fair. That's fair. No, I think from our side, I mean, this is similar feedback. We've seen it pretty much be positive. All the metrics are positive. So I was just curious, to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Especially now that we're a week out. It's one thing that last week to have opinion. Now that we're a week away. Looking back, what's that like? But very cool.
Yeah. What's question 2?
So wait, do you have an announcement?
Sorry. No announcement. From a gamer side though, I love the concept. I love the concept of you never know what's going to drop when, and it rewards active players. And that's what I really, really like.
Yeah, I thought it was great because I had to travel to London for another reason anyway. So when the announcement came, I was already there and didn't have to fly.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, hell yeah, perfect.
Yeah, very nice. My second question was just the Gold City Rush thing. So again, last week I heard your guys' feedback on the one. Our first time doing, we did a lot of firsts last week. I think we had 4 or 5 different first time ever happening in Upland. And so Gold City Rush, now you see we have phase 2 and phase 3. What are your thoughts, first impressions on that?
I would like to get something closer than 2,260 people in line ahead of me.
I mean, the demand's strong, so you got to give that. So I do love that. And I like how you've built off of the first one. It's still, I did not see clarification that if you have, I'm rereading the article as we talk, but that was the thing is you have 72 hours to buy it. And that was once you purchase it, but it doesn't talk about if you purchase it and trade it. Does that count? And does that give you the access to the property?
So it's for purchasers. So if you purchase it, and the 72 hours, is not from the time you buy it. It's from the time that it opens up. So that was a misconception last week where a lot of people were rushing like, oh, it's almost been 24 hours. Like, well, no, actually you still got some time left, but
gotcha.
Yeah. Now, and I do like that. Okay. So, part 1, you had your percentage of a collection. Now, part 2, you got a 14% chance. And then you go to part 3, you have an 18% chance. And I love the city theme block explorers to it. But man, only 50. The painted, I honestly love the Painted Ladies block explorers the best. And I don't know how Upland didn't do that as one of the generic ones to start out the game. And I'm glad they didn't at the same time, but there's only 50 of them. And now that you announced a rare badge and a map asset to it, man, those 50, ThankMeLater is the pricer. And I don't want to ask them what the price should be because I want a deal on them when that comes out.
Yeah, so remember, just to clarify for everyone listening, you do, in order to get the map asset and the badge, you have to have the whole series. So that is a series of 3. It's the Block Explorer series, the Gold City Rush series. So yeah, you do have to have the 3.
Wait, when do we have to get them by?
You still have time. So the Frisco Flyer was just released today. There's only 4 or 5 on sale right now. There were 200 released. And
so on that, not all of them were released. We had some glitches today, so the sale will resume tomorrow. So more should probably come into the marketplace.
All right. Well, listeners, if you have these Block Explorers, I'm not really on Discord right now. Ping Too Stupid to Win. I want them. Who knows how to get a hold of me? I have a high UPX balance, y'all. If you want some UPX, I want these Block Explorers. I need these badges. I hate to use the phrase "you got me over the barrel" on this one, but
hold on. So DMG got one of the Cisco Flyers BEs already, but we can't sell it if we want to buy the property, though.
Well, no, because I think just as soon as you get it, you
correct.
As soon as I mint the property, then I could sell the.
The purchase of the Block Explorer is the registration for the property.
Yeah.
Okay.
The registration doesn't transfer. Although I would, as for future reference, I think like that would be a cool feature to have. But again,
we have. I mean, you've seen these in the passes, or in the past. Legit passes is what that's.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's but I don't want to like have to turn mine in. I want to keep it obviously because they're blocking. But yeah, well, and again, I mean that could be well, no. Anyway,
for a mechanic, no.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't want to burn it, and then B, you don't want to like alter it where it's like stamped and used, because then people will not redeem it just to have the unused Block Explorer. But honestly, I mean, it's already a massive improvement and such a cool feature. Yes, it would be an added benefit if you were able to link kind of that queue process with that particular block ownership of that Block Explorer. I know that there was a couple people that got properties like they couldn't afford. So then being able for them to be able to sell the Block Explorer to somebody who could afford it or trade it to somebody who had it instead of them having to do the UPX, it would be much better in that case. But again, absolute kudos to the team. I love the concept. Great use of Block Explorers as kind of that token. And now on top of that, having some additional functionality. So there is some secondary value already. Like really cool.
Cool. I will pass that along. Awesome.
Yeah. I really enjoy the concept, and I'm hoping that there's more of that. And back to question 1, I'm hoping there's more of just the flexibility of, hey, we're giving you a week. Like, you don't know what's coming for the city expansion. So I do like all the changes in the first ofs. There's a lot going on, and, having Polymo games on and getting that finally implemented. There's a lot of big things going on, and map assets are rolling out a lot quicker. I'm seeing more and more people posting their map assets are in production now and rolling out of their factories. So that's amazing in itself.
Yeah, for all the creators out there too, we ran first. This was another first ever, the Ugly Sweater contest. We've already got submissions for that, and I have to say, wow, they're really good. So
really?
I love them. So I'm really excited for those. And then we're also running the mini game competition right now too.
Yep.
We've got mini games ready to drop. I mean, I think you've seen Dan playing them on stream. Some really cool mini games out there about to drop into Upland. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time for sure.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So with racing, the mini games, the Ugly Sweater, really like everything going on, continuing streaming in the cafe. A lot of good stuff going on. Really, really liking what's going on at the end of 2023, headed into 2024. It's crazy that we're at the end of the year already.
Right.
You getting ready for Genesis?
Already, right? It'll be here before you know it, eh?
I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I'm waiting for the Eventbrite like that's the best part is if you don't have your Eventbrite app, they usually let you know before Upland lets you know that they've posted new tickets. So there's a little hack right there, and you can jump in and be on the early bird. So
yeah, and I'm excited the way that for everybody. I mean, I think Mass Chef streamed during the Genesis week, but everybody else here was on it or at Genesis week, and to see the evolution from year 1 to year 2, I'm really excited to see it from year 2 to year 3. So
It's gonna be nuts.
Oh man,
Yeah, it'll be crazy.
it's gonna be next level.
one of my favorite memories is like the end. The rock band is going. And I look over and I just see "ThankMeLater" rocking out hardcore. I'm like, oh,
Dude,
success.
Flannel made that event for me. That was a rock show for rock shows. That was awesome.
Yeah, 100%. They were so good.
Yeah.
I just love seeing the Upland staff letting their hair loose and just going nuts during that.
Oh yeah.
So
Shout out to
no, it
the
was
Upland
good.
staff. Y'all made that absolutely so fun. Like
Yeah.
everybody there. Everybody's so friendly and helpful too. Like I've been to a lot of tech conventions, and like not just like the Upland staff, but like whoever you guys also hire for like the event staff that was there was just top notch. Like it was really great to see. So
Yeah, no, it's I was blown away by it as well. It's a lot of fun.
okay, so Metaventurist, he wants to lock down some dates, and
So it's always Genesis week is always the same. So it's always going to be that week of Genesis.
Yeah, so Genesis Day is the 7th.
Yep. So it's always that week. It's that Thursday and Friday.
Yep. So the 7th is actually on the Friday. So Genesis week next year is on
6th, 7th, 8th.
6th, 7th, you know.
Well, no. One thing I learned is don't just plan for 6th, 7th. You got to stay for like the 8th and the 9th because there's way too much happening after.
oh yeah, make it a weekend. Plus, you don't know,
Genesis.
you know, you might
missed out on that.
accidentally get into some edibles and not be able to fly for a couple days.
Wow, you got to go there.
I'm calling it.
Oh, you gotta go
I didn't say
there.
use any names. I'm just saying.
Oh,
But
What
when you,
happens
anyway.
in Vegas stays in Vegas, fam.
when you have almost a basketball team, it's hard to get away for that many days.
yes.
Yeah, I have the same problem.
But I definitely I know that you're event
Uh-oh.
and so forth, so it'll be good to see some of the. Oh, am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Sorry. Tracks, sessions, and being able to submit again. You know, last year I know it was the first year you guys did it. I'm looking forward to being able to do panels and discusussions. So multi-tracking sessions and stuff might be something you need to think about.
Yeah, no, 100%. The other thing is more booths. Expect more booths this next year. That
Make it separate from the talking places, please. Holy
yeah. So we'll have to improve that. I don't know that it'll be completely separate. Because we
or
like
at least make it separate times or something. Because also the other thing was, I mean, it's hard, whatever. But like that was.
It's tough for the people that want booths. They can't listen to the panels, but then you have the panels going on. Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah, we'll see. Regardless, expect a lot more of all of that. All of the above. So.
All of the above. Fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys so much for talking about racing. X1, we got to get you on here soon. Because it's been a long time since we actually had you on as a guest. We've done a lot of stuff together for Upland, but having you back on the show as a guest, it's been a while. So
yeah, no, thank you. I definitely anytime I do listen every week. Usually it's after you guys are done at 1.75. It's like your guys' sweet spot. The speed. So you know. And no, I love what you guys are doing. You guys are the OGs. So here's to another nomination.
Yeah.
to the new hot guy.
Whatever. We know we're the Leonardo DiCaprios of the Genesis.
God.
So, always nominated, never won.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely get you on here soon. And thank you so much. Every time like something breaks and I can ping you and say, hey, do you have somebody on staff that can come talk about X? And you always hook us up. So you do a great job for not only me as a content creator, but all the other content creators. So we do appreciate that because we all reach out to you and say, hey, can we get something here? And you always come through for us. So we do appreciate that.
Thank you. And for Max Life, 100%. Time.
And he falls over. I love it.
Thank you, guys. And we'll definitely talk soon. Looking to next year's Upland Racing League and sponsoring that stuff. And absolutely. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. So X1 did cover the, I can't get them. There we go. He did cover the goal rush. So that's good. I did want to hit some of the numbers really quick because there was a little something interesting. Let's see here. Secondary market. So, oh yeah, we talked about that. There we go. London came down a little more, another 11, almost 12% again. The floor continues to drop in Upland. In London, it was close to 40,000. It was sitting as the number 2 city right behind Manhattan. And we had the expansion and now it's dropped. ThankMeLater, San Francisco has passed London on the secondary market, even with a drop of 8% for the week.
Let's go.
And even London's floor in US dollars dropped hard, 46.7% down to $7.99.
Yeah, but is that just like the FSA property sitting circulation? Because wasn't there? I think this. Oh,
Yeah,
they said there wasn't a lot of FSA, so I don't know.
it was just over 1% of the 25,000 properties released. So you're looking at about 250 properties ish were FSA properties in the London release. Even if they hit, well, all it takes is a couple of the hit to drop it like that. But yeah, this could be the FSAs. But London had a strong push, and it was pushing 40,000. You're seeing a pretty good consolidation of the floors, with the exception of Manhattan. And Manhattan still, like, it's just crazy looking at it at 61,900 UPX for as long as we've tracked these numbers, to see Manhattan and seeing the top city that low.
Yeah. No, I'm not mad at it. I think people are starting to realize, like, there's a couple really good neighborhoods and strong things, but again, like, with it being so high, you're not getting the community stuff. You're not getting the same level of metaventure activities. You're not getting the same level of racetracks. You're not getting some of the same level of content in it because the price point's too high. It's too segregated. There's just some downsides to it that I think people are starting to realize more now, which it is what it is.
Yeah. And then looking back 6 months. Oh, wait, sorry. Arbitrage. We'll skip that. We've been going for a while.
Yeah, no, I just realized, like, it's actually pretty late. I actually have I have people over. I forgot.
You have people over, like they're hanging out in your house right now?
Yeah. I got company.
For a while now? You're just like, peace, I gotta go do my show.
We've been hanging out for the day. So like,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Looking back 6 months, Dallas is rocking it, and that's about all I got to say there.
Let's go Dallas.
Bottom 10.
Oh, you know what we don't do anymore? Which I guess I don't blame you, considering how terrible you're doing at it.
Finally.
Updates. You're so bad at it.
I'm horrible this year. Like,
I
it
mean,
is
you're
bad.
horrible most years, but this year particularly, my God.
I won the league 2 years ago.
I mean, I guess we just, I mean, I don't know.
I won the league, and then you had to copy me and win the league the following year. So it's not like, Mr. Thank Me Later, I love number ones, got it first. Nope, I got it first, and you were number 2. You were the doo-doo, so it's okay.
I mean, I didn't even understand what we were doing. You didn't tell me that I had to like buy players or anything. Like, I had no idea. I'm pretty sure I had kickers on the team. We didn't even play kickers. Like, it was like,
No. The first year we had kickers, but then you drafted like 5 kickers. I'm like, this dude is hella dumb, so we're gonna stop the kicker.
Yeah,
palooza.
because no one explained to me how to actually play the damn game. But it doesn't matter, because then I was like, oh, let me take like my 1% knowledge and dominate you guys. And I've done that.
So for as much as like, yeah, I was actually thinking about that today. I'm like, who's going to finally call me out that we haven't done a fantasy update? Because the last 3 years we've always did a fantasy update each and every week. And then I look, I'm like, and I'm doing horrible. So I'm just going to ride this out.
Yeah.
Looking at the bottom 10 cities, Detroit, Rio haven't changed much. Queens came down a little bit, but $3 holler across the board on the US dollar floor. Not much change on the UPX floor. And then if you go back 6 months, $3 holler across the board, no change. It's always been kind of there. Fresno's up 32.5%, and that's the biggest gainer in Cleveland at 18.5%. But other than that, not much. I probably played you, Franklin, and you probably whooped my ass. I can't do anything to buy a win this week, so keep picking on the special kid. Congratulations.
Dude, you're supposed to be good at this.
Now I can show you the other league I'm in with Dizzy, and I'm dominating there.
Oh my gosh. What do you play with your kids? Because that's the only way I can see you winning. And that's just because your wife's like, kids, let daddy win. He needs this.
Wow. So you're calling Dizzy's friends dumber than my kids?
I mean, they're friends with you and Dizzy, so yeah.
All right. So after last week's show, the Upland announced the MV Motor Elite Fleet Car Showroom exclusive sale. Now, if you remember, they did the Block Explorer sale to the Block Explorer owners, and we kind of ripped them apart on it. We're like, this is dumb. There's no like wholesale to it or anything of that nature. And this time, I think they improved off of it.
Yeah.
They were able to, they did provide a discount, because the downfall was you had to have cash available to put in the game. You needed $249 to buy a bundle, and there were 50 bundles available. But with that bundle, you got 3 vehicles. And with those 3 vehicles, there was a percentage breakdown of what style you would get. Would you just get a Series T? You had about a 55% chance. Would you get a T exclusive, which was...
Bet these are what they're racing, by the way.
What?
Bet these are what they're racing.
It could be. And then they had the rare. So you had a 55%, 30%, and 15.5% for the different styles. And then they have the suggested MSRP, and you actually ended up making money. Either way, you were going to get 3 cars, and you were going to end up with more UPX insight if you can sell them for the price that they're suggesting. You would be good, and if you priced it even greater. So I think Upland got it right with providing a discount, and also providing, just not one, providing multiple for the sale. it was interesting that it was in US dollar only.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter how it came out, you ended up getting more in UPX back unless you wanted to undercut the MSRP.
Yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, if you got it, then congrats, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably pretty happy.
And you had to be a dealership. It just wasn't open to everybody. So you had to be a dealership.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should work is, your Block Explorer shops, your car dealerships, anything like that, you get a discounted rate where you make a profit off of it.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Golden City Rush, we talked about fan scores still going on, NFLPA. There's still a community really hustling on that, and they're down to the true collectors, so I do like that. And then we talked about my map assets. So we did go extra long today. Had a lot of great guests on.
Yeah, great show. You called it. You said it was going to be a good show. You were right.
Yeah.
Finally.
Absolutely. Never fine. I'm always right.
Finally got one right.
I'm always right. Anyway, all right, everybody, are you available next Tuesday?
I mean, it should be, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because it's Thanksgiving, eh?
Yeah. So if you could do Tuesday, I can do Tuesday, and we'll just do it 2 days early.
Yeah, have your people talk to my people. We'll make it happen.
All right. Our people will talk, and it will be good. So going to shoot for a show next Tuesday night instead of next Thursday. And if we don't make it happen next week, everybody have happy holidays here in the States. Everybody else, be safe, have fun. We'll see you out there in the metaverse. Until next week.
The UPX Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host too stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland property experts, baby.